It's Nolan.
Give me space. When I walk into the place, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Okay, I be the Black Avenger, more greater than Alexander. Number one contender, more money in my agenda. Be the king of my castle, enjoying all of the splendor. Yo, shout this on me on Tinder, she might be gone to November. That's my old life, Chick-fil-A waffle fries on my bull bites. Creeping through the street, shit, I'm finna have me a whole wife. Niggas still searching, I'm ghosting ladies like poltergeist. And got they smell up off me like Old Spice, you know I'm right. Hey, that's a damn shame. I don't be rocking name brands, I'm a brand name. That's how the cash came. I put some money on myself and made a bet. Had my bills stuck in jeopardy like a Malik Trebek. I put my life in these 16s. On Wesley Chapel like Desist team. Everything clean, shining on pristine. But try to play me my sick team. Got them for greens, digging for that gold like 3 kings, my nigga. Give me room, give me space. When I walk into the place, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Wait, give me room, give me space. When I walk into the place, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Eyes on straight, keep your eyes on straight. Hey, when I'm in doubt, I bring it back to the south. These label niggas acting fishy too, we treat them like trout. My contract stipulation keep me pleasing the crowd. But if they hatin', I may have to amputate them like y'all. My nigga, who that? Y'all wasn't around for them.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another edition of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music and entertainment commentary and breakdowns. Now, y'all know for the last month or so, we've been going crazy with this whole Kendrick Lamar, Drake head-to-head battle. Drake was going at Kendrick. Drake was going at Metro, Future, Ross, ASAP. Goddamn. It was so many people that were involved in this situation. Weekend, if I didn't mention him before. You know, at the beginning, you got Kendrick coming out saying, F the big three, nigga, it's just big me. We had the three titans, the big three. Drake, Cole, Kendrick. Seemed like we were going to get a 3-way battle or a 2-on-1 battle. J. Cole left. You know, we're not going to get too much into that right now. We talked about that theory last night about how he got the heck up out of Dodge. Personally, I feel like J. Cole understood that Drake was trying to use him as an ally against Kendrick. I think he knew he couldn't beat him on his own. And if Kendrick dissed us both, we should tag team this. Not necessarily do it on a collab space to where it seems like a tag team. Let's do a 3-way battle. But everybody was going to have a certain stance. Kendrick was the one standing on the island. Drake was going to be dissing Kendrick. Cole was going to be dissing Kendrick, right? And I think at a certain point he understood, oh, nah, y'all niggas really don't like each other. Y'all niggas been having this problem for years. You want me to join in on this to take this nigga out. And that's not really how I do things. I don't jump in on niggas' issues, right? He was more so trying to resolve it from the whole first person shooter, supposedly supposed to have Kendrick on it type vibe. So, of course, we went through this battle and a lot of good music was produced in this battle. I gotta be all the way real, gotta be all the way transparent. Y'all know I've talked about this at length. I took all types of hits from every fan base in this battle. Every time I reviewed or spoke about or broke down the lyrics to a Kendrick song and said it was good, the Drake fans would shit on me. Every time I did something containing the Drake and said he did good, niggas like, that wasn't impressive, can't come at Kendrick, Nolan, you tripping, right? Even last night when Drake dropped his final entry into the battle, or what we believe is his final entry into the battle, the Heart Part 6, which contained absolutely no heart at all. Straight scarecrow. You know what I'm saying? Contained absolutely no heart. He came out and tried to put out this theory of Kendrick taking the bait on this whole, yeah, you know, we fed you this information about the All the Dog shirt, the Shorty Collection FUBU, the Ozempic, the Zolpidem Ambien pills, the prescriptions, the jewelry receipts for who even knows? I think what people deduced with those receipts was some Nadine something. Looked like he had bought a duplicate of, well, one, people thought that he had bought a duplicate of Whitney Kendrick's fiance. We don't know if they're still together, by the way. There's some theories on that also that we're gonna get into. Her engagement ring. I think there was some jewelry containing a ring that Pharrell once owned as well. We know that he bought Pharrell's jewelry from an auction, and that was a whole thing. Not to mention, I think it was some Popular Jewelry, which is a store that ASAP Rocky is affiliated with. I think he had bought some stuff from there to spite him. There's a lot of fan theory circulating online about what that was in that photo that Kendrick showed us. He previewed it to us with the glove on 616 in LA. We got the full scope when he released Meet the Grams. But all that shit aside, when it comes to the music, I will say that we did get some music. We did get some excitement in the game. I'm on record all year since January for saying the men in hip hop had definitely taken a big, humongous backseat to the ladies. The ladies were coming out with fire music. Some of the ladies, such as Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj, found themselves having a battle. I don't think that battle is over. We know Megan Thee Stallion is about to drop the album. She just dropped a freestyle today. Megan Mondays. I guess she's about to start going on a tier on Mondays, dropping new music leading up to the album. Kind of like Tiller did Tiller Tuesdays. Bryson Tiller, it didn't really pay off dividends for him like that. But you know, Megan's in a much different position. He's dope album, by the way. But I think she's definitely gonna be spinning the block on Nicki on this new album. I guess the album is Boa, the Curse of the Serpent or something like that. She's been promoting some new covers and stuff and putting out this theme and showing this era, very anime influence, which again, I think is also not only leaning into her interest in anime, and we're gonna get back to the guys, her interest in anime, but also her little spat with Minaj, you know what I'm saying? Because Nicki came out the Harajaka Barbie and all that shit, right? Like, I don't know. Sound like she's trying to claim the throne, and she's kind of up in the battle. We're not getting into all that, but the ladies were coming out with fire. The ladies been the ones that have been entertaining us. They've been having the twerk challenges, you know what I'm saying? Fit game been crazy. Music video production's been crazy. A lot of the guys been in the back seat, especially the guys that are not in that big three category, such as Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. They had still been putting out quality music, but Kendrick dropped his last album 2022. Drake drops every year pretty much. Cole had even gotten into the habit of dropping every year leading up to the fall off. But it still just felt like they were in an era removed from the rest of the field. And when it came to the other gentlemen in the category, everybody was just struggling to keep up, right? Not to mention artists like Lil Baby and people that we kind of had put into the next tier below or crop below had stopped really putting out music, and a lot of people had gotten tired of the type of output that they were doing because all of their music was beginning to sound the same. The Dirks of the world, the Lil Babies of the world, even the Rod Waves, who are like a tier below that. it's just been stale, stagnant. So when we got wind of this beef and like they really accepted the challenge, like J. Cole stepped up to the plate, went at Kendrick with the 7-minute drill, that was extremely fucking interesting. You know what I mean? I didn't really care for 7-minute drill as much as the rest of the fans did, because I felt like I don't want to hear no apologetic ass diss record. But I understood what he was going for, and there was other stuff on the Might Delete Later project that could have been aimed at Kendrick as well, depending on how you listen to it. It definitely sounds like some of those words apply. But we saw that he took 7-minute drill off Might Delete Later. He went on stage at Dreamville, apologized, and, you know, stepped the fuck out the way like, nigga, I'm good. I'm good. More power to both y'all niggas. I fuck with both y'all niggas. I want to be Switzerland. All right? Fuck the bullshit. Fuck the free world, nigga. 313. You know, so in the midst of all that, of course, we got the Future and Metro album, We Don't Trust You, and the other album, We Still Don't Trust You, letting niggas know we don't fuck with you, Drake. And if you thought we was gonna fuck with you next time around, no, we still on your ass. So Drake is looking like, oh, everybody want to come get at your boy? Bet. Drop it, give me fit. All you bitches. I'm gonna open up cases on all you bitches. Drop and give me 50. You know? So he puts out push-ups. I fucked with push-ups. Some people said that they didn't feel like it was enough. There was a leaked version of push-ups with a different beat, couple different lyrics a part of it. A lot of folks were wondering what the issue was with that. Like, why leak out a version and then come back? Like, were you taste testing it to the audience to see if people liked it, and then once you saw that people were interested in it, you wanted to put the real one out? There was a lot of theories around that as well. But it was tough, and it introduced an element to the battle that ended up backfiring on Drake ultimately, because when he decided to release the record, number one, he tried to insinuate that there were issues in Kendrick's marriage or in his relationship with Whitney, using her name in the song, I be with some bodyguards like Whitney. So then off rip, you're introducing the family element to the battle. The same shit that he pulled going against Pusha T, right? I'm gonna let it ring like Virginia Williams. Pusha T said, oh, we doing family? You are hiding a child. Let that man come home. Oh, man. So, of course, history repeated itself. History repeated itself in a major way. He also insinuated that there were issues with Kendrick Lamar and TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, which also backfired, because although Kendrick has moved on from being under contract at TDE, he had the ultimate support from that entire squad the whole way through, and they banded together in a crazy way by the time we got to this weekend that just passed. It was insane. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This shit has been insane. You know, so from there, Drake puts out push-ups, and of course he smacked on Ross. We got a song from Ross which introduced the whole BBL Poppy, introduced the whole nigga, where you get your abs from, let's talk about that, white boy. Like, this is when the battle really turned, when Rick Ross got involved. And he only released one song, and he's been doing stuff, uploading stuff in his stories and on IG, spectating and putting his opinion up of everything. But this introduced another dynamic into the battle that also ended up backfiring. So when Drake decided to go at Ross for unfollowing him and getting on the We Don't Trust You album, even though he didn't really send no shots his way, he like, shit, I can't believe this nigga jumping on. You notice a diss album on me and you want to be a part of it, and you unfollowed me on some bullshit. We ain't never really had no issue, no discussion about a problem. You just inheriting niggas beef. All right. Cuff her like I'm Ricky. Can't believe this nigga jumping in. This nigga 50. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So Ross come in, and his raps were very forgettable. But the monologue at the end of his song was like, oh shit. Now, of course, we already knew from Megan dissing, throwing shots at Drake on his. She said that he had a BBL, got the same scars while he talking about ladies with BBLs, fake ass accents, posted in another nigga hood like a bad bitch. So a lot of people have issues with Drake. Drake has created issues with a lot of people, and I think we just don't always see when he is, you know what I mean? We've seen it, but we didn't know people would actually react, right? Because he, on his All the Dogs album, he had a line, or was that the Her Loss album? One of those fucking albums. Got so many, them shits be running together. Talking about some, the Megan is talking about a stallion and she lied or something. She known for lying, she a stallion or some shit like that. Weirdo activity, right? But he had been unfollowed Megan based off of the Tory Lanez affiliation, which wasn't a very strong affiliation because them niggas had issues in the past too. Come on, man. Anyway, further in the conversation, he wanted to keep taunting Kendrick, talking about, come outside, nigga, I'm ready to beat your ass, nigga, you ain't got nothing to drop. Did a double drop, back to back, come with tailor-made freestyle. Very much mid. So mid that the Tupac estate said, nigga, take that shit down in 24 hours or we coming for some compensation. He obliged within 24 hours. So Kendrick eventually comes and drops Euphoria. 6 minutes. 6 minutes Dougie Fresh was on, you know what I'm saying? And in there he made some warnings like, all right, nigga, don't tell a lie about me. I won't tell the truth about you. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I guess you could say this was kind of like the height of the lyrical battle because Push-Ups, although he did introduce, I'm talking about Drake, by the way, the family shit, it was mostly a lyrical exercise. Euphoria, lyrical exercise, right? Even though there was the being a good dad, you don't know nothing about dad, like, there was already stuff that was out that he was playing off of, so it didn't feel like, you know, it didn't feel like he was overstepping any boundaries because we had already visited that conversation with Drake. And of course, that's something that he gonna have to sit in if he's in a battle with somebody. That's how battle rappers do. Any chinks in your armor, even if the last person talked about it, how can you address it in a way that's new, refreshing, or funny? And Kendrick succeeded on all of those fronts. At this point, we're like, all right, cool. Euphoria, fire. Couple days later, Kendrick comes right back with 616 in LA, which I didn't feel like was the perfect entry into the battle, but it was kind of like another warning just to let niggas know I'm on your ass and we got some things to address, right? And then that was the introduction of the photo and all of that stuff, and kind of introduced us to a darker side of the competition, right? We're just recapping stuff because this battle is that iconic, is that important. It's hard to talk about it in a isolated event sort of thing because everything happened so fast this past week. Like, it was a lull for a couple weeks where Drake was just waiting on Kendrick to say something, and when he was ready to say something, he had an entire onslaught ready to fucking pounce. And I think Drake was not prepared when he came out and was taunting Kendrick, and he really wanted to lean into the whole reason why Drake, and I don't give a fuck what nobody says, all the Drake stans, get the fuck out of here. I like Drake as an artist. He's put out good music. I feel like he did a really good job in this battle as far as trying to defend his honor, but he didn't win. Right? He just didn't. And he wasn't prepared. I think he expected for Kendrick to go back and forth with him, I think he expected for Kendrick to listen to each song he put out like okay, you put out a record, I put out a record. Okay, now that I put out a record, you respond to what I said on my record. I do the same thing, and we're just gonna go, tit for tat with the shit. Unfortunately for Drake, Kendrick took those couple weeks to really map out how he wanted to do this, right? Not to mention, we start getting this idea on 616. Have you ever thought OVO is working for me? There's the exchange of information, so-called mole in the OVO Foundation feeding Kendrick information about his personal life, some of his alleged transgressions. You know what I'm saying? Little cracks in their situation, their foundation, right? Some might even say they think Kendrick heard the Family Matters record first, right? Because of course Drake did preview what ended up becoming the Family Matters record at the end of Push Ups. But I feel like that wasn't the same song. I feel like he had some shit on there, but I think he also went in there and fine-tuned it, added some shit, because by the time Euphoria came out, Drake had responses to that record on Family Matters. So I think that was just I don't know. You know, and I think what's interesting is there's some people out there I saw earlier, right before I hit record on this video, that feel like this was a complete sham. They feel like this battle from top to bottom was planned out. This whole thing was prearranged. The only issue I have with the idea that this was prearranged is that why would Drake agree to do this at his own expense? Why would Drake agree to take a L on the biggest platform in hip hop? Like, when you get the two biggest artists in the space to go head to head, who's gonna agree to take the fall? This is, if that's the case, that's some WWE type shit. And nobody likes taking the fall. Only thing about WWE is you're gonna have so many other matches to redeem yourself. You know what I'm saying? They could write the storyline to where it's like you lose the championship and then next week you could win it back. Or for the next 4 or 5 months, you go on an undefeated streak leading up to WrestleMania to win it back. Like, you can write it out in a way that, you know, niggas take losses all the time in extreme sports, whether it be wrestling, boxing, UFC, shit like that. But in hip hop, when we see you take a very highly publicized L, that affects your career. It can affect your cash flow. It can affect a lot of different things. And there's no way he took that bow to Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Now, the way some of this stuff played out does seem odd. And again, Kendrick puts in this idea that people are feeding him information, perhaps feeding him pieces or lines or audio previews of what Drake was cooking up, which is interesting, but also very possible, because by the time we heard Drake's The Heart Part 6, he seemed defeated. He sounded defeated. He sounded like a man on an island. It sounded like a man that was somewhat betrayed, right? The tone in his voice, the punchlines he had, the responses and rebuttals that he had, they just didn't seem effective. We're going to get there, though. But it sounded like a man who possibly may have been isolated by his crew. The writers that he had that may have been holding him up, they weren't there. Perhaps they put all of their energy and their best efforts into Family Matters, which is a 6-minute record of his own, which was an onslaught. Again, I took a hit for saying how good it was, in my opinion. But when do we ever hear Drake rap for 6 minutes? He's not that artist. He's not that guy. He's not going to do a 6-minute record over 3 different beats and just be smacking niggas. He tried to pull a Kendrick on Kendrick, and I actually thought he did a pretty good job in the whole thing. And I think a lot of the Drake fans, they really feel like Family Matters was the best record out of the entire back and forth. And although I don't agree, I do feel like it was one of the best. Unfortunately, Kendrick had a strategy. Kendrick had this ace in the hole with the information, the breakdown of Drake's character, the peeling back of, you know, things that people already were speculating about Drake behind the scenes, but nobody wanted to speak on, nobody wanted to acknowledge, nobody really wanted to have those conversations, because at that point, when you have those conversations about Drake potentially being a groomer or a pedo or just being an overall weird guy when it comes to women, we'd been seeing this for years, but he had been allowed the space to roam creatively and be the number one guy because he was the number one cash cow in the music industry, and he made extremely palatable music that would make people overlook any character flaws, right? I think people for years have seen that Drake is a pretty awkward person, but it didn't matter. You know, he turned his quirks into a meme with Hotline Bling and shit like that. When niggas said he couldn't dance or whatever, he embraced it. So he had a lot of things that have been working for him for the last 15 years. So, boom. Euphoria 616, blah, blah, blah. Drake says, all right, cool. Family matters. He comes back, takes more shots at Metro, more shots at ASAP, more shots at Ross, more shots at Kendrick, more shots at Weeknd. And it was a very formidable attempt. Like, against anyone else, that would have been the kill shot, to be honest. If it were not Kendrick that he was going at in the heat of the battle, I think he would have won. I think he would have ended the shot there. I think that was the nuke that everybody was talking about. But the problem is, you can't just have one nuke in the chamber for a guy like Kendrick Lamar, who really, we've seen when Kendrick wants to go ape shit on a record, he can go to a whole nother gear that nobody else in the industry really can, at least not out of the current group. Some people may say Eminem could do it. That's, you know, that's a whole nother conversation. We just don't be tuned into Eminem the same way as we would for somebody like a Kendrick. And I think that's just a generational gap. And it is what it is. Like, this is the new shit. So when Drake comes out with what he thought was the kill shot on Family Matters, minutes later, Kendrick says, nigga, let's get to your family. Fuck that shit. Family, you know what I'm saying? Meet the Grrrls, nigga. You want to talk about Family Matters? On the newspaper page, nigga, let's open it up. Some people say it's even harder to find. Why the fuck you such a trash ass nigga? Dario. So he goes into Meet the Grrrls, talking about you, your daddy, your mama, and your kid. Hey, Adonis, I'm sorry that you got a piece of shit for a father. Like, damn, you're hiding another kid, 11-year-old daughter. Damn. You lied. You lied about your son, lied about your daughter, lied about your other kids, which on the heels of this battle, there's some other potential Drake children out there that are being revealed, right? From the 2013 era, 2015 era of Drake, women that he may have asked to abort children who may not have done that. Women that he ceased communication with, that they never received that hot sauce remedy. It's a lot to get into, man. For real, for real. So, lied about all this stuff, right? Talking about the OVO team, talking about how these guys could be potentially trafficking women. All this crazy shit. Nigga said your son deserves to die. He don't deserve to live. He deserves to be in a cell with fucking Epstein. Whew. I wasn't a big fan of that beat, but I think the production choice in hindsight was a very effective choice with the whole sinister element to it. It was definitely on some John Carpenter shit. I said that before, but I think that may have added to the shock value, this real menacing, dark feel, especially for people that may not have witnessed other huge battles and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was very, very intentional. I'll say that much. Extremely intentional. But for me as a musical fan, I was just like, beat wise, man, what the fuck? But it worked. Number one, it worked because as Drake was rejoicing his championship, the confetti was falling. Niggas started grabbing the confetti out the sky. Next thing you know, blood started draining on some Carrie shit. Like, oh my God, what? What the fuck's going on? Dear Adonis. So that was extremely intentional, very well played. You want to talk about family? Let's really get to the family shit, nigga. Let's go. Right? Drake on his record talk about Dave Free potentially smashing on Miss Whitney. Confusion about whose kid it is. Talking about Lil K might be really Dave Free's son. Weird shit, but you know, when you make allegations like that, it's like, okay, we entering a zone that's real deep. Talking about you beat on your queen and all of this stuff. So now he's introducing that the idea that Kendrick might be into DV, all this stuff. So at this point, the battle is taking a dark turn, and now we're getting into this whole Me Too era of the battle, right? Crazy. As a matter of fact, the Breakfast Club had a pretty cool conversation about this that I want to play for y'all real quick about the battle, how they perceived the allegations. They thought it was actually pretty corny, I guess a sore spot in the battle. And I think there's a lot of people out there that are more conscious individuals, activists and such that would agree, because unfortunately it's the women in their lives or the women that are connected to them that ultimately suffer when these types of accusations get thrown around, because they're used as collateral damage to tarnish the image of the other person. But Kendrick and Drake, for the most part, they're going to move forward with their lives and everything's going to be cool. But, you know, well, you would think. Anyway, let's get to the Breakfast Club and what they were talking about in terms of the way this thing panned out. We're also going to play a couple others that shared their perspective on this battle.
First of all, I want to give both those individuals, that brother and that half a brother, their props.
Oh my God.
Damn.
They both gave us what I believe to be the greatest rap battle I have ever witnessed. Personally, the two best of their generation, in their prime. Never has a rap battle given us this much music.
Yeah.
Every time one of them dropped, the other person answered, and musically, I don't think either one of them, missed the beat.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion. But if you ask me who's up right now, it's Kendrick. And it's simply because his strategy has been better. He dropped the 616 record Friday afternoon, which caused Drake to drop Family Matters Friday night in no less than 30 minutes. Kendrick stepped on that record with his own record about Drake's family, Meet the Grams. Then Kendrick turned around and did what we was waiting on Drake to do, and that's give us a diss bop.
Yeah,
so
diss bop,
I gotta say Kendrick is up right now.
I don't agree with you. See, I was.
But you're light skin. So
No, it's not at all.
Beige
'Cause
bias.
I was actually going with Kendrick until I heard Drake's record last night. Then I had to think about it. If all that Kendrick said is, and we don't know what's true and what's not true, but if Drake fed him the information and all the raps that he did was based off of lies, do you still win that? Because I look at it, I look at it like this. I look at it like, we all know Kendrick is a rapidy rapper person, right? And everybody knows that everybody was going to go at the fact that Drake doesn't allegedly write his own music, right? So what's the best way to get at somebody that I'm already the villain? I feed him information, some fake-ish, that he can't prove, and then I'm like, prove it.
You know why I don't believe that he fed him the information? Because if I fed you the information, number one, I would have recorded and documented me showing people I'm feeding this person the information, and it wouldn't have took me a day and a half to reply back to the accusations that I fed him the information. The first thing that we heard was Drake's team is just denying that he has an 11-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
If you fed them that information, wouldn't that be the first thing you came back with?
You took the bait.
Come on now.
But the fact that you said he has an 11-year-old daughter, we all know that baby mom or that daughter or somebody in that family would have popped up by now.
But nobody cares about the truth and the lies more entertaining.
Same thing with the rat. They said he ratted, right? Is there any proof of the rat? No. But then again, I think both sides are corny with it too, because you said Kendrick beat his wife. Is there any proof to that?
How do we know that?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all these allegations that everybody's saying right now is very dangerous, because it's almost like we want to see I just wanted to see a rap battle, which I enjoy. I don't want to see nobody go to jail.
It's crime.
Yeah, I don't like seeing these brothers Me Tooing each other over a rap feud. Like, you Me Tooing each other over a rap feud. That's corny. If you're going to call somebody a pedophile, if you're going to call somebody a woman beater, you got to have some real proof, because those are some heavy accusations. And it's not like they really trying to hold each other accountable. They just throwing these types of accusations around to attempt to ruin the image of the other because of a rap feud.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's whack to me.
And I know
that's
people
whack to
in
me on
jail,
both parts.
And I know like other celebrities that are in jail for this is like, hey yo, what? What is going on? They just casually throwing these nukes at each other, and I'm sitting in here doing time. Like,
And everybody laughing, think it's funny.
And Kendrick said your house gonna be raided next. Like, damn,
I
y'all,
know.
what are we doing right now?
And then Drake said I would have been rated already. I'm like, jeez.
And you saying my child's not even my child? It's from my guy? Like come on, y'all. Come on.
You saying I don't take pictures with my child? You saying I'm not a good dad?
All of that was whack to me.
Oh, my goodness.
On both parties.
Like, why you tell LeBron and Curry to stay away from me? I know that's crazy.
Yeah. So they hit all the bullet points, right? And I don't know where they go from here. Right? As mentioned, when Kendrick came with Family Matters late for that Friday, and then by Saturday evening the nigga came back with They Not Like Us, which is my favorite, maybe not even the best song out of the battle, but my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Because it was basically what I had been asking for from Kendrick the entire battle, was just like, give this nigga a bop that he can't avoid, that he's going to have to hear everywhere he goes, and put the disses in there. You know what I'm saying? Because basically he reiterated everything that he had already said in the battle, but he put it in a way that was going to be catchy. It was going to be, palatable for radio, palatable for DJs, clubs, mixes, remixes, mashups, the whole shit, which, as we see, it's worked in his favor, because all of those things have been coming out. So at this point, I think Drake definitely was feeling the pressure, because it's like, yo, all of the shit that I've done to other rappers in the midst of beef, this nigga's pulling on you first, right? When it came to back with Meek Mill, he dropped a diss. It got lukewarm reception that charged up. He came back a couple days later, back to back, just stomped Meek Mill out, right? Which is why I think he thought Family Matters was going to be the KO. But that was a poor strategy. Then you think about Kendrick coming with Meet the Grams. Next day coming with They Not Like Us, which is a back-to-back moment. So he's like, damn. And at this point, we're singing about all of your fucking shortcomings, all of the allegations against you, and it's in a way that's super catchy, where we learning all the lyrics immediately, all these little slogans and catchphrases that are coming from the record. It's like, you're not gonna avoid hearing this shit, right? So Drake takes a day, then comes back with The Heart Part 6. Again, straight scarecrow. No heart at all. He wants to lean into this idea. Everything you said was a fucking lie, bro. We gave you all this information. We gave you the false info about a 11-year-old kid. We gave you the false info about this and that. We knew with the medication you would run with it and talk about how, we're using that to drug people and, knock them out sleep. I knew you would take the Epstein angle. Why would you ever invite somebody to call you some shit like that. Right? On a human level, no nigga would do that. On a musical level, on a celebrity level, on the biggest grand stage in hip hop, which is one of the most effective forms of communication in the world, right? When done right, hip hop has taught people, hip hop has exposed people to other cultures, hip hop has exposed people to styles of dress, looks, swag, way you walk, way you lace your shoes, the whole shit. So why would you enter into this medium and feed somebody information that can disparage your entire brand and character for the rest of your life? It's just straight foolishness. OVO niggas, y'all got to start using your brain. Stop following this nigga that you love so much. I'm not saying you can't listen to his music. Not saying that you can't even say, hey man, I feel like my favorite artist got the better of the other artists. It's delusion, but I'm not even mad at that. But when it comes to the game plan that he's alleging to have, there's no way you could possibly think feeding that type of information to somebody, true or false. And this is one of the biggest artists outside of yourself, is maybe a little bit of a rung below as far as numbers, commercial success, all this bullshit. So you're allowing somebody with an extremely big megaphone to spew out the worst possible things about you in life, right? And as you can see, he programmed that into niggas' minds overnight. You're not gonna reverse that. So it's just dumb. And if we're gonna go by the metric that Drake fed him that information, you were poorly advised. I don't know who told you to try that. Like, okay, let's beat this nigga to the punch. This nigga Pusha T had dirt on me. Let's feed him dirt, and then we're gonna come out and confirm that it's lies. And you come out and say it's a lie with absolutely no confirmation, no screenshots, no photos, no map, no road map, no video showing, hey, this is OVO 2 weeks ago planting all of this evidence or this fake evidence. This is homeboy meeting with Kendrick Lamar or somebody from TDE or somebody from his camp, passing along this information. You do this fake ass music video that nobody still understands because it wasn't even a full music video. This was all thrown together, but the song was a valiant effort. You were outclassed. That's all this is. This is all this is. And Kendrick knew he was going to outclass this nigga. He knew from the jump. He's like, I'm a better rapper than Drake. If he ever comes to the situation and engages, I'm going to pounce on this nigga. I'm going to demolish this nigga. I'm going to demolish his character. I'm going to demolish everything. I'm going to reinforce everything that a nigga ever thought about this dude. And Drake played into that. Again, I think I said the other day, we watched this battle, and this is like Drake showed up to spar. Kendrick came to shoot a nigga dead. You know what I'm saying? Hypothetically speaking. Like, nigga, you trying to box? I invited you here to murk you. You tried to do some kung fu, you Tybo ho? You trying to work it out? You trying to get brolic? You think I waited 10 years for that? You crazy. So I think that this is the official passing of the guards. They say they say Kendrick has an album coming this month. And if that's true, just imagine how much more this is gonna solidify him as the champ, right? Drake, I don't think he has an album that he's ready to put out probably anytime soon. He was just touring for the last year and a half. He's a wounded warrior. He's basically defeated. On the last record he put out, he sounded like he was winded. He sounded like he was deflated. sounded like he had gotten to the point of there's nothing I can do or say that's going to sway public opinion. I'm going to let people know that it's lies. I'm going to defend myself on the allegations and let people know that I'm not the person that he's portraying me out to be. But it really felt like, you know how you had them nightmares in your dreams and shit? And a motherfucker be coming at you and you be punching all slow and shit and your punches don't be doing a motherfucking thing. That's how that nigga Kendrick drew him into the fucking nightmare realm. Oh man, it's sad. It's really sad because I was one of the people that I didn't think Drake was gonna win, but I wanted to see him put up a really solid fight. I wanted this to go a solid like 2-3 more rounds where Drake was really still had his intensity. It didn't make sense to me that he would put out that record at this point in the battle. This nigga just put out a hit record on you and smashed you. You got to come back and keep the energy high. Don't try to go low. Don't try to go with the dark, twisted fantasy of it all, because that's not your strong point. That's not the area you excel in. Even when you do the timestamp records, you choose beats that are like super hip-hop specific, and you go deep. You went fake deep on this last joint. That wasn't real deep, Drake. That was deep in a rush. You were rushed. Because I don't even think he intended to have a response. Again, I think he thought Family Matters was going to be the kill blow. And he thought the crowd was going to waver and join his side. But Kendrick had the foresight to say, I'm going to smash your record, and within a half hour of it even coming out, we're going to shift the narrative, and I'm going to bust your head the very next day, and I'm going to create something that you can't come back from. The only way Drake could have came back was to put out something along the lines of a They Not Like Us. He didn't have that in the tuck, and there's no way to do a They Not Like Us type record back. But I just mean something that people would play. Fight the fire with the fire. He came back like he was in a fucking jacuzzi and just had a muscle relaxer and was just like, bro, I really just ain't got the energy to do this shit with you. I'm trying to make it seem like, man, you know, I thought this was going to be a good battle, but if you just going to base every song you make off lies, I know you got 10 more of these just saying the same shit. And it's like, nigga, you lying too. If everybody's lying, keep lying. Fuck it. Because we believe, you know what I'm saying? There's people out there that's believing at least a fraction of what y'all talking about. Keep lying. Or just go upside this nigga head, break down his character. Say, I'll drag you by your locks and like, there was so many different ways you could tell. I mean, nigga, you the one that spends time with battle rappers. No battle rapper told you like, hey man, maybe you should go about it like this. When a nigga got you against the ropes, this is how I come back. Sounds like a man that's lost his resources to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Because Metro, Future, all these niggas that helped give you sauce. 21 Savage didn't show up. 21 Savage still been in Atlanta doing what the fuck he got going on. Being with Lotto laid up and shit. He couldn't give you no type of nothing, you know? And it's not like niggas in Atlanta battle rap like that anyway. So it's like all your superpowers, that nigga Kendrick said your superpowers getting neutralized at the top of Euphoria. And he effectively did that. So I feel like this is definitely the coronation of Kendrick Lamar. He's the king of hip hop now. Drake, who's been the king of big records, the king of being almost Teflon untouchable, even when he lose, he win. All of that's been tarnished. Kendrick took the chip. And like I said, he's got an album. He's supposed to have an album coming soon. And if he puts out an album and he actually keeps this energy and momentum going, where he takes like a victory lap in stride and starts putting out monster records, conceptual shit that just can't be denied, a damn near another Pulitzer Prize type effort, that's gonna solidify his conversation as the GOAT, honestly. I don't think I'll ever see Kendrick Lamar above like a Jay-Z in my particular eyes, because I lived through the Jay-Z era and was a fan of the Jay-Z era and have watched him evolve through time and make all the proper adjustments to remain relevant from 1996 to 2024 and still be one of the top niggas, even without putting shit out. Whenever he drops a verse, the world stops to hear what he's talking about. I don't think Kendrick Lamar is going to replace that in my eyes. But for people that may be slightly younger than me, people that might even be older than me that just love Kendrick like that, I think he could cement himself as the GOAT. Drake, I think he's still going to be able to put out records. I think he's still going to be able to put out singles. I think he's still going to be able to collaborate with artists that are hungry for that opportunity. But I think his reputation has been severely tarnished. I think this is a stain on his legacy that he's not going to be able to remove. And I'm not saying this as in he's a punk or nothing like that, because he kept fighting. But he was definitely worn out. I don't know what type of conversations they were having at OVO about this whole thing, but it feels like they underestimated the impact that was riding on this battle. I think they thought that they could trounce out Kendrick Lamar, thought that the fans were going to back him all the way through, because if you look at the way that their two careers have panned out, even when Kendrick Lamar had higher moments than Drake was still probably number 1 through 10 on the charts. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick will put a number 1 album out. A couple months later, Drake will have a number 1 album and then come with another number 1 album and then another number 1 album, while Kendrick would take time off. So it's like, no matter what you do, I'm always getting the upper hand, because I'm always the one that's consistently dropping. I'm the one that's always in people's faces. I'm the one that's always working with the new crop of artists. So the new crop of artists always are on his nuts, you know? But Kendrick basically showed that the authenticity in hip hop is something that people are still yearning for. And they wanted to see this battle for a long time. There's a lot of people that wanted to see the downfall of Drake over 10 years ago. There's a lot of people that wanted to see Drake gone after Best I Ever Had. They felt like he was gonna be a stain on hip hop history. And I'm sure some people still feel that way. I don't, but I remember the era when there was a lot of so-called purists that just was like, they didn't like anything he represented, because they felt like he ushered in a more softer side of hip hop. Nonetheless, he excelled, and he met a Jordan-like figure. You know what I'm saying? We had been convinced that he was that. And I think his performance put him in that category. But again, when it all came down to it, he just didn't have the stamina. He didn't have the firepower, the will to win that we thought he had. We've seen him just demolish lesser opponents. We've never seen him go against somebody who was almost an equal. And I think a lot of people didn't really see Kendrick as an equal coming into this, but he played the Drake game. Fuck the big 3, nigga, it's just Big Me. Boom. Number 1 song with the diss on it. You can't avoid it. It's getting played. I'm going to pick you apart on your character. I'm going to talk about your family. I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to drop another hit on your head before I go. Shit was well played, man. Now, I don't know if, TDE, they came out, Top Dog came out, said good battle. Now that we know that Kendrick is the motherfucking best out, we can go ahead and put this to rest. You know, handled it like gentlemen. We took the dub. We're not gonna disrespect. We're not gonna keep dropping records on his head. We were prepared to do so if he wanted to keep going, but since he put out a less than stellar piece, and in the song he talks about, I'm going on vacation, I'll see you later. If y'all want to come back with receipts, you know I'm willing to talk about it and keep going. Where's your receipts? Don't put the burden of proof on the other person when you've made allegations and you came into this battle. You were the one that introduced the whole idea of Kendrick's woman cheating on him. You've produced no receipts. You were the one that introduced that thought. You played the family game and you actually got to witness how strong Kendrick's family is. You said, why is Whitney not coming out and refuting the allegations? If she comes out and speaks on it at all, it looks bad because Whitney don't talk to us no fucking way. What are you talking about? Now you got fans digging up all your inefficiencies and bullshit that you done. Right? Before we get there, let's see what It Is What It Is said, because a couple days ago they had Drake in the lead, but they've also conceded that Drake took the L.
So who you think won?
The battle?
Yeah.
Right now, man, I'm going to be honest. Kendrick, I don't like what Drake dropped last night because it wasn't bad, but I don't like the way it ended. He seemed like this the last one I'm doing. Like, you can't end it when you just want to end it. You know, yo, man, it's all, I'm tired of doing this, that, and the third. And I just think that you shouldn't have ended it like that. You just got to keep going. That's just my opinion right now. I'm not saying Drake ain't my bro or nothing, but I don't like the way he ended it, if that's the end for him, me personally. So I'm going to go with Kendrick right now.
Yeah, I'm going with Kendrick as well. It seemed like whatever he started out doing, he picked up the speed, pause, and really did what he was supposed to do. I thought the record that he did, the last one that he did, was the one I thought he should have done a little bit earlier. But, you know.
Meet the Grrrls or the other one?
The Meet the Grrrls, I would have started with Meet the Grrrls, and then I would have went into, Not Like That. Oh, what's the name of the record?
Exact name.
Not Like Us.
Not Like Us, yeah.
That was crazy. When I heard that, I was like, oh, yeah. It's gonna be tough.
Hey, yo, Larry. So you just walked in with a girl, please? This ain't the motherfucking hangout.
Oh, shit.
Who just came in, yo?
That's how you know Cam, man. This nigga redirected his energy from the conversation to go snap on somebody in the studio. What the fuck is going on? The Drake fan, he admitted that Kendrick won, but then he took out his frustration on somebody in the studio. What the hell going on? What the fuck going on, man?
Oh, Craze, my bad, Craze, my fault. All right, we good.
Damn.
Yeah, so when he dropped the second record, the last record, not second, that Not Like Us, that was the one I was expecting.
Yeah, look,
That
back to back was good. The
everything.
Meet the Grrrls, I thought it was good, but I just thought the one Drake dropped before that. See, what happened was this, then we went out.
Yeah.
What was Drake one before that?
Push-ups?
No, not after push-ups.
Family Matters?
They played that in the club. And Meet the Grrrls, you couldn't really play in the club. So when niggas went out that night, they played Family Matters like 10 times back to back in the club. So when Kendrick came with an upbeat one, they played that in the club like 10 times in a row. And the one Drake just dropped, it was kind of slow. It seemed like he don't want to do it no more, pause. And I just don't like the way it ended. But like you said, Murder, we'll see. To be continued. But it don't seem like Drake want to battle no more.
Yeah. Severe miscalculation. Because you can't back out the battle in your biggest battle. That's the whole thing. This is your biggest battle. Everything is riding on this. Niggas' futures is riding on this. Niggas' money is riding on this. If you don't think that Drake takes a decline after this, You're crazy. Again, I say he's going to still be successful. He still may put out #1 records. He still may have popular records. But there's going to be a lot of people that say, I'm not listening to this nigga. There's too many people that are investigating into his past and investigating into, there's a lot of people out here that are looking at Drake like a Diddy right now. There's a lot of people out here that are now thinking, hey, based on what's been put out from Kendrick's records and the investigations just of regular people digging into your past, got people coming out, kids, 17-year-old minors coming out on stage, which we're going to get to because she's trying to come out and even defend Drake. I guess that was probably a high moment in her life at that time, so she's got fond memories of it. But she's coming out saying it ain't no big deal, but it is a big deal because this nigga was 24 years old kissing a 17-year-old in front of a fucking crowd. That shit is not okay. Talking about I like to feel your breast up against my chest. That is not okay. I don't give a fuck who you are. When you do some shit like that, niggas is gonna look at you a certain way. I'd never seen this clip. I'd heard about it, but I'd never seen it from my own two eyes. That type of shit, and it circulates and it gets magnified because of this issue, I don't think you shake that very easily. There's gonna be people that will overlook it, but there's a lot of people that will not. So let's get to that. So the young lady, I think her name is Tia Jade or something like that. She says, regarding the video that's going around, which I refuse to play because she was a minor, it's just weird. It's going around. Y'all have seen this shit by now. I mean, he kissed this girl on both cheeks, forehead, and her lips. Grown man. She told him she was 17. He said, I'm not ready to go to jail. And then proceeded to kiss her. It was the weirdest thing. Like, at that point, there's no saving it. But she says, regarding the video that's going around, I was 17 back then and I'm 31 now. So you've had 14 years to reflect on this in some type of way. She says, this was a concert that my dad took me to back in high school. She was a high school child that her father took her to. And her father sat there and watched this shit take place. And somehow nobody ever thought it was a problem. She says, Drake's entourage actually picked me out from the crowd of people, not Drake himself. She put not Drake in capitalization as if that was going to make it better. She says, by the way, performers always bring up fans on stage. It's a part of their show. That is a fact. You want to say Chris Brown, you want to say Janet Jackson, you want to say Neo, you want to say Usher. Yeah. The problem is, I've never seen any other artist bring up a minor on stage and attempt to seduce them. But again, based on your situation, based on, your fanhood of Drake at that time in your life, you probably have looked at this with fond memories. But that doesn't mean the shit was okay. She says it was nothing then and still nothing now. Now, she says, now that I have cleared up these false narratives, I'm going back to study for my law school exams. Wish me luck. You didn't do this nigga no favors. You probably, I hate to say that you shouldn't have said anything because I don't want to make it seem like we're silencing people of their experience or silencing really a victim. Don't want to silence a victim. We should never say that. But with you coming out to support him, you actually make this shit look even worse. If you thought that saying this in support of him actually made it better, like, hey, I was the one that got kissed. I don't see nothing wrong. Why don't you see nothing wrong with it? You as a 31-year-old woman, would you do the same to a 17-year-old boy today? I'm not putting that on your jacket, but that introduces a world of questioning. If you were to see someone do this, a grown man, as Drake was 24, 25 years old, kissing a 17-year-old on stage today, if you saw that, would you not care? I don't think that's okay. Your dad took you to the concert and watched it happen and nothing happened to this nigga? No fight ensued? No one rushed the stage? Nobody got their bulletproof vests pierced? Nobody went to the federales? But you wanna say Kendrick ain't got no receipts. This woman just acknowledged she was 17. It was already rumored she was 17. She said she was 17 at the time when it happened, but she came back and doubled down. The best thing she could have done if she wanted to advocate for Drake was be like, I said I was 17, I was really 19. Nobody does that. Nobody lies about being 17 at 19 years old. But if you wanted to advocate for this nigga and try to give him a leg to stand on, I don't think that did it. Wow. This shit has taken a dark turn. All right. So, in addition to that, video has resurfaced from TMZ talking about Drake's dad, Dennis Graham. He said that he thinks the Me Too movement wouldn't be necessary if women avoided putting themselves in potentially dangerous situations. This is a video from 2018 that's been resurfaced because a young lady came out and said, nah, he tried to forcefully finger one of my friends at Delilah's. Once she see this tweet, she's going to lose it. Mr. Dennis need to be strapped up in a booster chair. So she's saying that Drake's dad forcefully touched her friend at Delilah's, which is actually a record, a space that Drake rapped about in the battle. He said, I'm going to Delilah's with all of my jewelry on. So this is a place that him and his dad must frequent. And she says her friend was violated in that space. Right? We're going to hear him say this. We're going to listen to his opinion on the Me Too movement.
There is something that I want to say to these young ladies.
He said, here's something I want to say. So this was a public service announcement from this nigga.
That allow themselves to go and be with a man in their rooms or whatever. Stop going to the hotels. Same with Bill Cosby. Stop going to their rooms. You don't have to be in their room. Take your ass home.
So it's like are there the two sides to blame, or is it?
No, there's not two sides to blame. You take your ass home. Don't go into a man's room. Don't go where a man is, where you might think a man is going to have anything to do with raping you or anything else. Take your ass.
Hey, yo. This nigga said two sides cannot be at fault. So if you go into the room and something happens to you, you're guilty for putting yourself in that situation. Wow. No consent matters. Nothing. If you enter that room, he's basically saying you've consented to whatever comes your way from walking in the door. That's sad. That's heartbreaking, actually. Has anyone seen photos of Drake's father and mother around each other in any recent years? Wonder what she thinks of him as a person. That's wild. Now, rapper Baby Tate came out and doubled down and said that she had a similar experience with Drake's father. This shit is fucking gut wrenching, man. And niggas want to say, you know, whatever. We already got what's going on with the 17-year-old and Drake's situation. Then we have the thing going on with Drake Daddy. Then we got Baka Not Nice with his shit. So when Kendrick says what he says about Drake and OVO, y'all say, where's the receipts? You may not have receipts in your wallet, but you might have received an email receipt, huh? Let me find what Baby Tate said. All right, so this is 2021 originally when Baby Tate came out and said that Baby Tate Baby Tate claims Drake's father grabbed her butt. This is 2021 now. She doubled down a couple days ago on this. But this is October 23rd, 2021. Baby Tate had an uncomfortable encounter with Drake's father, if her words to be trusted. According to the female rapper herself, Dennis Graham, who is better known as the father of Canadian superstar, grabbed her butt at Doja Cat's recent birthday party. On Wednesday, October 20th, Doja threw an early birthday celebration with the Wet and Wild Undersea themed bash at Delilah in Los Angeles. So this is the same place. Baby Tate might be the friend that the other lady was talking about. Baby Tate was among the guests at the party, along with other celebrities like Normani, Corday, Billie Eilish, Winnie Harlow, and Karrueche. On Thursday, Baby Tate showed some moments captured at the event as she took to Instagram to share several photos and videos of her taken at the party. One of the images featured her posing with Drake's father, Dennis. Right? So here's the photo of Baby Tate and Drake Dad. Scroll down some more. While she put the highlight on the birthday girl on her Instagram post, Baby Tate later dropped a shocking accusation on Twitter. Drake Daddy grabbed my ass, just remembered, in a now deleted tweet. When her supposed tweet was reposted on Site's account, she claimed that it was edited. She said, "Why did y'all Photoshop this tweet?" Later, a fan revealed that what she actually wrote. It says, "Drake Daddy def grabbed my ass. I just remembered." So it read. So while the edit didn't change the meaning of her original post, it was edited to seem a little bit less unsure, or more unsure, excuse me. She says, "But still weird, LOL, and unnecessary." For her saying this, people called her out for seemingly trying to throw Drake's father under the bus. She says, "Girl, bye. What's weird is that you even wrote this." No, that's what they said to her. They said, "Girl, bye. What's weird is that you even wrote this." And then they said that the Photoshop of the tweet as if it was okay, not just remembered. Baby Tate later appeared to defend herself as she tweeted, "Why would I lie?" Here we've got a more recent post. Dime piece, same tweet from before. Baby Tate doubles down. This was just yesterday. Right? "He grabbed my ass at a party and tried to gaslight me when I tweeted about it and it hit the blogs." So, y'all know I'm not here on a mission to expose anybody. But wrong is wrong, man. Shit ain't okay. So, it seems that the battle took a very dark turn for the worse. Drake is definitely losing on multiple fronts right now. I think Drake definitely should enjoy that vacation, brother. Because who knows what's on the other side of it. All right? That's all I got to say. Let me know what y'all think of all of this down below in the comments. What's the other shit? I think that's all I got, man. We're going to move forward. I'll catch y'all later. More content coming tomorrow. We're going to get into some other shit, man. Unless these guys decide to rekindle this beef and let it go any further, I got Kendrick winning. King Kendrick. He's the new king of hip-hop. That's what it is. And I'm ready to hear this album. I wonder if there's gonna be any references to this battle on the album. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily dissing Drake, but just claiming victory. I'm here for it. It seems Kendrick is in a whole new situation, which is very interesting. All the music from this battle has been under Kendrick Lamar, under direct license to Interscope. So this is not PG Lang music. This is not TDE music. It is Kendrick Lamar. Now, for some, I'm sure some OVO truthers out there, and this is probably a valid thought, why is this music not on PG Lang, right? PG Lang is the company that was started by Kendrick and Dave Free, right? I saw something earlier that said the house that Kendrick and Whitney shared since 2013, 2013. They owned the house for 9 years, went up for sale last year. So they're trying to say maybe they're no longer together. They're trying to say that maybe there is some sort of truth involved. We don't have no receipts on that. If they broke up, then people break up all the time. But I do find it interesting also that if they did break up last year or separate, because I think when Mr. Morale came out, he said he's looking around and Whitney's no longer there. So they may have been split for a while. That happens in relationships, right? The house may have been on the market for a year or some shit. Who knows? I don't know. Nonetheless, we saw Whitney's brother supporting Kendrick in this battle as well. All of the TDE family supported him in this battle. Dave Free supported him in this battle and was posting his music. So whatever happened, the support is still there. The family ties are still there. But Kendrick is embarking on his own mission, and all of the songs that were released in this battle were under Kendrick's label. New label, just Kendrick Lamar. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. I'll be back later. Much love, respect. I'll catch y'all in a minute. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.